Okay. Caitlin Clark, on a vote by WNBA players, was voted the 11th best guard in the sport. Fans ranked her second. Media ranked her third. WNBA players voted her as the 11th best guard. Indiana's scoring 94 a game. It's the highest in 16 years.
Nobody saw this coming. Colin Cowherd just crashed out, supporting Caitlin Clark, the same guy who drags women's basketball is now her biggest soldier, yelling, pointing, and going nuclear for the WNBA superstar. Why the sudden 180? Who got to him? And why is the internet losing it over his wild rant? This is the most unhinged Cowherd moment of the year. Everything he said will totally shock you in the end. Stick around.
Have 3 stars anymore. You can have a couple, but if you pay both of them like Tatum and Brown and they eat 65-70% of the cap, you're going to have no bench. You're going to have no front line. Like Miami's going to be really big and really good up front. Bobby Portis, Bam, Giannis, not going to have a lot of bench. But again, who's got everything? We thought Oklahoma City had everything. They couldn't get to the finals again. Right? Like, so that's the new league. You can't stack rosters. It is hard to pay a second star max money. Really.
The whole sports world is still buzzing because Colin Cowherd, the guy who usually roasts everything that moves, completely lost his mind the other day defending Caitlin Clark, and honestly, it was one of the most entertaining meltdowns you will hear in a long time.
In this season, 21 a game, 8 assists, 3 3-pointers made, top 3 in the league, 94 a game for the team, and she's the 11th best guard. Again, sometimes you just have to kind of laugh at stuff. Because people online, I stay offline mostly, people online they don't like it. There is people get worked up. They are getting really worked up.
He went off on the WNBA, on the players, on the league office, and basically called out the blatant disrespect that everyone with eyes has been noticing since Clark stepped into the league. What makes it even funnier is how hard some people tried to act like none of this drama exists, while the numbers and the decisions keep proving the opposite.
The officiating's horrible. Caitlin Clark's too often a target. I mean, the 30-year poster is just icing on the cake. You can't figure out a way to put your most popular player on it. If the NFL came out with a 30-year poster today to commemorate the last 30 years, and they did it a few years ago, yes, they'd have, Brady and Manning and Favre. I can guarantee you they'd have Mahomes on it. 3 years ago.
Caitlin Clark came into the WNBA and immediately started doing things that nobody else has done. At her position in years, fans voted her near the top, the media had her ranked high, yet when the players got to vote for the best guards in the league, she somehow landed all the way down at number 11. That ranking makes 0 sense. When you look at what she actually does on the floor every single night, she sits 4th in the entire league in scoring while sitting 2nd in assists. Which means she creates buckets for herself and for everybody. Wearing the same jersey, yet a bunch of players looked at that production and decided she belongs outside the top 10. Guards.it is the kind of decision that makes you laugh first and then shake your head, because the pettiness is so obvious. The league itself has not exactly covered itself in glory either. Management decided to drop a big 30th anniversary poster celebrating the WNBA, and somehow Caitlin Clark was nowhere to be found on it. They tried to hide behind contract technicalities, but everybody saw through that excuse immediately.
She's the number 1 shooter, distributor, play initiator, playmaker. She's 11th. She's 4th in the league in scoring, 2nd in assists, and she's the 11th best guard. I don't know, shooting, playmaking, and assists feel big for a guard. The team is the highest scoring average in 16 years. I mean, the animosity toward Caitlin Clark. I'm not angry.
Here you have the most popular player in the league, the one selling out arenas and moving jerseys faster than anyone expected, and the official anniversary poster acts like she does not exist. That choice was not an accident. It felt like a deliberate snub wrapped in weak paperwork, and it backfired exactly the way you would expect. Fans roasted the league online, casual viewers started paying closer attention to the drama. And even people who never watch women's basketball began wondering why the league was treating its biggest star like an afterthought. He called the whole situation absurd and made it clear he was not buying any of the polite excuses people kept floating around. The way he described the disrespect sounded like a man who had finally seen enough and decided to say what a lot of commentators have been dancing around for weeks. He even joked that the league office must be allergic to money, because ignoring Clark's impact is the fastest way to slow down the growth everyone claims they want. His rant had that perfect mix of real frustration and exaggerated disbelief that makes you laugh while you nod along.
Guys, when she broke into the league, you moved her road games to bigger arenas to accommodate the fans. You were flying the last 6 rows of Southwest Airlines until she made such an impact, you pivoted to private jets. And she's not on the 30-year poster, but Paige Beckers and Angel Reese are.
What really stands out when you watch Clark play is how much she elevates the people around her. The Fever were not exactly lighting the league on fire before she arrived, but now they move the ball better, they shoot more confidently, and they look like a team that actually believes it can win on any given night. She averages elite numbers in almost every advanced category that matters for a guard, and she does it while drawing double teams that open up wide open looks for her teammates. Most players would kill to have that kind of gravity on the court, yet some veterans still act like she is just another rookie who needs to earn respect the old-fashioned way. There have been multiple games where Clark gets hacked harder than anyone else on the floor, and the whistles somehow stay in the officials' pockets. Then you see other players get calls for lighter contact, and you start wondering if there is a separate rulebook floating around that nobody told the public about.
Hot streak. I don't care about the previous 24, 25 years. As an investment, it's starting to pay off. And so this week they wore T-shirts saying, making a statement, you better pay us. But instead of just leaving it at that, Kelsey Plum for LA had to take a dig at Caitlin Clark. Here she is.
The T-shirt, just United front, was determined this morning that we had a meeting for. And, not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that.
Cowherd touched on that too during his rant, basically asking why the league cannot protect its biggest draw when she is getting knocked around like a practice dummy. He exaggerated the point for effect, but the core complaint lands. Because the film does not lie, the physicality is real, the missed calls are noticeable, and the pattern keeps repeating. At the same time, you have to give credit where it is due. The WNBA has plenty of talented athletes who work extremely hard and play at a high level night after night. The coaching has improved across the board, and the product on the floor keeps getting better every season. Clark did not ask to become the face of the league overnight, but the combination of her talent and her work ethic made it inevitable. Instead of embracing that momentum, the league sometimes acts like it needs to slow her down so nobody feels bad about their own spotlight shrinking a little. That approach is not just petty, it is bad for business.
I mean, a lot of people getting very angry on the internet. It's so petty. At this point, you just have to, the officiating, they bring out a 30-year anniversary poster, knowing apparently they can't put Caitlin on it because of some contractual deal, and they still go with it, knowing they're going to get crucified for doing it. Like, don't put the poster out if you knew going in you couldn't use her likeness. Like, don't do it.
Meanwhile, Cowherd kept going during his segment, piling on example after example of how the league has fumbled the ball with its hottest property. He compared the situation to past sports moments where stars were undervalued early, and the whole product suffered until people finally woke up. He laughed at how some veterans talk about earning respect, while conveniently forgetting that Clark has already earned it through sheer production. The sarcasm in his voice made the whole rant feel like stand-up comedy mixed with actual sports analysis, which is exactly why it spread so fast online. People shared clips because it was funny, but also because it said out loud what a lot of fans had been thinking quietly. Leaving Clark off the poster sent the opposite message. It told casual fans that even the league itself was not fully behind the player they were watching. Break records and sell tickets. The backlash was immediate and loud, and deservedly so.
Recently there were TV games. Hers got double the rating of Asia Wilson, the best player in the league, the 3-time champ and the 4-time MVP. Double the rating. This is a paranoid, weird, insular league. And everybody, older golfers were a little annoyed and irritated when young Tiger Woods got all the love and all the coverage. But about, a couple of months later, they went like, hey, wait, the purses have gone up. We're all getting richer, and they got over it.
Any business that treats its breakout star like an optional extra is asking for trouble, and the WNBA walked right into it with both eyes open. Cowherd mocked that decision without mercy, calling it the kind of cell phone that only happens when people in charge care more about internal politics than growing the game. Clark herself just keeps showing up and playing basketball. She drops dimes, drains deep threes, and competes like the game still owes her something even after she has already taken everything the sport can throw at her. Her teammates look better because of her vision. The WNBA would be in a much stronger position right now. Instead, they keep handing critics easy material and then acting surprised when the criticism rolls in. The funniest part of Cowherd's crash out is how unexpected it felt from him. This is the same voice that has spent years giving hot takes on every sport under the sun, often poking at the WNBA along the way.
The truth finally came out. Caitlin Clark, voted on by general managers, the best point guard, the best shooting guard, and the singular player they would start the franchise with. In the weird, insular WNBA, this has been a real struggle. You know the truth. And there's these people who are fans of indie bands, international soccer, and the WNBA. They have this gatekeeping mentality. We'll tell you who's great. Colin, I was watching the WNBA long before Caitlin Clark. Well, yeah, it's not my problem your social life was boring.
For him to flip the script and go full protector mode on Clark showed that even he could not ignore the absurdity anymore. He called out the voting, the marketing misses, the officiating inconsistencies, and the general vibe of resentment that seems to follow Clark around the league. He did not hold back, and the rant felt authentic.